Okay, so first things you need to make the popcorn cupcakes is a piece of scrapbook paper, and you need to make a cute little label that says popcorn, and you need a cupcake. I like to use some pretty cupcake wrappers. So what you want to do is you want to cut your scrapbook paper widthwise all the way across. I find that you can get about 5 strips per 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and they are the perfect size for the little cupcakes. So what you want to do, once you have your strip, you want to measure around the top of the cupcake, because you actually want this wider part at the top to sit inside. So that actually looks like that. Cuteness, right? And then you take your little popcorn label. Ideally, you would want to glue it on the paper before you make the circle. Otherwise, you have to glue it on once it's already together. Okay? So, one fun little thing I noticed is that this is your original strip. Okay? Once you cut how much you actually need, this is how much I had left over. So instead of having to measure every single cupcake, I actually just took the little piece that was left over and I just laid it on the next strip and cut right on that line. So that all my strips are the same size. I don't have to remeasure every single time. So what you want to do to make corn is you need some mini marshmallows, some petal dust, this is daffodil color, and a little bit of food coloring to make the actual little kernel part on only a few of them. And instead of using brown, I like to use ivory. You'll see it has a nice brown color to it, but it leaves a very light brown on the actual marshmallow. So what you want to do is cut the kernel in half long ways. So you get 2 pieces, and then you want to stick them back together at kind of a weird angle. Okay? And then you're going to take a paintbrush, take a little bit of petal dust, and just lightly brush on a few little spots. It's just meant to look lightly buttered. Doesn't have to look perfect, because you know what? We're going to stack them together and they're going to look amazing. Okay. And then we take our food coloring, dip the back part of the paintbrush, and I like to just stick it right in the middle, little dot. And there you have it. So we're going to end up making a whole bunch, slightly different shapes, slightly different angles, and we're going to, when we actually stack it, you're going to see that we stack it going all different directions. So right now I'm going to make a whole bunch of these. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is how we actually stack the popcorn. You can see this one back here. It looks like a little popcorn bag. If you're wondering what this little red stuff is, it's actually raspberry filling, so it's a lemon raspberry cupcake. What you're going to do is take white buttercream, and you're just going to pipe a swirl on top. Okay, so that's something to stick to. And then all you're going to do is just start sticking your popcorns on. Kind of stack them kind of crooked. And I'm going to show you. What I did is I dusted them all a little bit yellow. Not necessarily all in the same spot, because you know, no 2 popcorn kernels are exactly the same. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of brown in some of the spots when we're done. Pardon my big hands. I find it's just easier to add a little bit of brown at the end. Filling in really nicely. I honestly don't even know how many kernels. I guess I could be counting, but it's a lot. And it always takes more than you think it's going to take. So I buy 2 bags of mini marshmallows to cover like a dozen. Alright, so there's our popcorn bag, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add a tiny bit of brown. Again, you're going to take the end of the paintbrush. Of course, it's been cleaned, right? And you're just going to dip it in some little center spots. That's all we're going to do. You certainly don't have to do that. I just think it gives it a little bit more of a natural look. As natural as marshmallows can look. Just a few little spots. Okay, so there is your bag of popcorn. So now we have a whole bunch more of these to do, and then I'll show you how awesome they look when they're together.